Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to invite a few people. And then we are going to have an interesting conversation about Lucifer. And the purpose that this energy, this deity, whatever you wish to call it, actually serves in this experience. And the truth, because that is... And when I say truth, I mean the original meanings and intentions and teachings about this being. And let me say, I am completely aware that this is probably going to bring a bit of a purge and a cleansing to my friends list, and I'm totally all about that. So, if you don't feel comfortable with this topic, and therefore you don't feel comfortable with following me anymore, so mote it be. I am perfectly okay with that. Sophia Valeda is here. Awesome. Sophia is closely related to Lucifer in the original Tree of Life. So, we have enough people here that I'd like to open this up with a prayer, if you will. And I think that everyone here will really appreciate it, actually. I'm reading it from my sacred book that I have copied it into. And this prayer is actually known as the Great Invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men. The purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. This is called the Great Invocation, and it is written by the first actual organized, or the first organization to bring Luciferianism to the forefront during a time when Christianity, had a hold on things. And truly, during this time, there was quite an interesting situation going on throughout the West, where many people were not resonating with the Christian church anymore. And from the mid to late 1800s, there was an organization created called the Theosophical Society. And this was co-founded by Helena Blavatsky, Henry Steele Olcott, and W.Q. Judge. Their goal was to bring all aspects of theological philosophy to the world, therefore the Theosophical Society. And much of that was very controversial. But they were the ones that made sure that we have an awareness of Buddhism and Hinduism and all sorts of other types of mysticism and Eastern philosophies and religions here to the West throughout Europe and the Americas in the late 1800s. Helena Blavatsky passed in 1890. She was the primary voice of the Theosophical Society and the first one to actually partner with a woman named Annie Besant, who became her co-publisher, co-writer, and partner in a publication entitled Lucifer. Now, I'm sure you can imagine that was a pretty big deal back then. Pretty big deal. She is known as the grandmother of the New Age. There's a lot of information on the internet and elsewhere where very devout Christians claim that New Age philosophy, which is actually not new at all, is actually ancient wisdom and knowledge being brought back into the world now. There's a lot of information that says the New Age movement is a Luciferian agenda. It is. If you are associated with the New Age movement, even though that's kind of an ironic name, it is a Luciferian agenda, and I'll explain why. That doesn't make it a bad thing, and it's okay that you're a Luciferian. How to know if you're a Luciferian and how to forgive yourself and understand why it's okay. Bye, Nikki Wall, aka Sophia Love. So, I'm going to go back to the beginning of time as Jesus spoke it. Oh, wait, that's right. You didn't really hear in the Bible about Jesus speaking about the moment of creation, because that would have completely undermined everything the Council of Nicaea was doing. Crap. Well, they can't have that because they have to disempower us, right? They needed to control. Religion needed to control, especially the Christians, because they were trying to defeat the world. Caesar wanted to defeat the world. So the Council of Nicaea came together and created a new religion, even though it was founded on Jesus. And Jesus said not to do that. Jesus said, no. This isn't a religion. This is a path. This is a way of life. This is your true being. Love and light is your true essence because you are God. Because God is within you. Interestingly enough, there's a story for how religion was created as well. How we ended up being separated from God, and I'll get into that. But the original tree of life, when it was created, God said, let there be light. Let there be duality. Let there be polarity. And in this tree of life, Mother and Father Creator, as the base of this tree, had all of their aspects go out as branches. Every aspect of God became a branch. And then there was the polarity, the duality of those aspects of God. So some of those branches went up to the light, and some of those branches went into the dark. Now, understand these are all energies and personifications of universal cosmic energies. So as I continue this story, understand that even though I'm putting names to these things, I'm not by any means telling you that any of these beings are something that exists. Because as one who understands the nature of Lucifer, the message of Lucifer, and the message that Jesus shared about Lucifer, I want you to understand that I am by no means worshiping any deity. because that would go against Luciferianism. And I'll explain. So, from this original tree of life, the aspects of God went up into the light and down into the darkness, in duality and polarity. There was one aspect of God that divided into duality, and one aspect that went up to the light was Christ and Sophia. Oh yeah, you guys didn't know that Christ had a sister, did you? His beloved, the other half of him, which in the Sophia of Christ, which was not included in the Bible because Caesar was trying to defeat all goddess worship at this point in time when the Bible was created and canonized. He said, I am incomplete without her. So then, in duality and polarity, the branches that go below, Lucifer and Lilith, were created. You see, there's the duality, and then there's the polarity. Or I should say the polarity and then the duality. All around. So, every aspect of God also had a masculine and feminine aspect of that expression or energy or aspect of God, if you will. You guys keeping up okay? You understanding? Yes, the tree of knowledge. Now, I'm going to try to keep this story short so we can move on to the point of all of this. But according to the Pistis Sophia, maybe somebody could type that in so others can look it up. Sophia, and actually this is in the Sophia of Christ as well, which you can also read as the saga of Sophia and Christ. At some point in time, Sophia dove into the darkness. She left presence with Christ, and she said, what's there? And I'm summarizing, of course. I'm summarizing and paraphrasing. Interesting that Micah Eckert, of all people, shows up now. So Sophia dives into the darkness, leaving Christ in the original tree of life. And because he is unconditional love, because he is light, he is life, and he is with his family, he cannot go. He stays. He stays. He stays right where he is. And she dives into the darkness to find all the wisdom that is hidden there, knowing that there is great mystery in that darkness, in that secret place where she couldn't really see unless she went into it on her own. And once in that darkness, she got lost. But she realized and knew that because she was God also, she was able to create. Now here's where it gets interesting. Because she was lonely and hadn't found her way back, she pulled out of herself her own creation named Yaldabaoth, which was a serpent with a lion's head. A powerful, powerful being, and they eye-gazed and fell in love and danced in this darkness. And this was her original creation, and how beautiful it was that she created this being. That being, upon realizing that he now existed and that he had received her creative power, created earth and beings to worship him and archons to keep them in alignment, to keep them in line with worshiping him, becoming the first barrier between humanity and their original creator. Their original creators. And that being, Yaldabaoth, told those humans he created, that his name was Yahweh, or Jehovah. And he was an angry and jealous God. And isn't it interesting that he is the one that the Bible is centered around? And yet there are clues in the book of Genesis where it says, in our image we made them. Man and woman, we made them in our image. Now, everything has a purpose here. Even our experience. Oh, wait, let me go back and tell one last part of the story. In all of this, because Yahweh created earth and created these beings to worship him, he had goddess within him still, because he came from her. He came from her solely. So all he had was her within him, even though she created a him out of her masculine aspect. And so when he created the planet, the tree of knowledge was there. And Lucifer, feeling for his sister when she began crying for help, came down as the serpent and invited Eve, goddess, to eat from the tree of knowledge so that she would know and remember that the jealous and angry God that created her was not her sole creator, was not the greatest she could be. Was not as high as she could reach in her divinity. Now understand, in the Kabbalah, the term Satan represents our ego, not some being outside of us. The devil is within all of us in the form of our ego, and the demons are the way we act out and cast projections and fear and judgment and anger and negative energy and so forth out. We, as creators, are the ones creating the demons within us first and projecting them outside of us next. And if you understand the way the universal energies work, then you know, as creators, we actually can physically manifest those things. We don't need to anymore. In fact, now, through the law of polarity, understanding how much darkness we have experienced in this world, how much suffering and pain and hurt and fear and judgment and all of those things that we have experienced, we can now create and project peace. I'm going to read this invocation one more time. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. When you say love and light, You are speaking a Luciferian blessing. This was written by the Luciferians, by Alice Bailey, spoken by Eleanor Roosevelt. Eleanor Roosevelt actually recorded this in audio. Luciferians have always been around you. The oldest Luciferian churches that have been identified in Europe were as early as the 1300s, but we know that it goes further back than that, all the way back to Gnosticism, pre-Christian Gnosticism, because of Jesus's teachings, because Lucifer is the polar aspect of him, the polar aspect of God that they represent in the original tree of light. Branches up, branches down. So when Christ came to earth to assist humanity, he channeled through Yeshua that masculine energy. Now, Sophia being perfect wisdom, Christ being perfect love, they make a perfect pair. And then there's Lucifer and Lilith down below that represent the dark aspects of that. Now, in their totality, Christ and Sophia represent the highest good of all. Lucifer represents the individual fulfillment of each. What is world peace? What is love and light? What is healing of our planet? If we do not have the highest good of all through the individual fulfillment of each, can it truly be a world of peace? Can it truly be a world of love and light if even one suffers? Is that even possible? Please keep sharing this out and inviting people to watch. Let's get this message out there, because there are many that are still lost in the religious programming that believe Lucifer is some dark being, but his name means the bright morning star. He's represented by the planet Venus that is always there in our sunrise. That's just it. If one suffers, we all suffer. Why? Because we really are one in a collective sense. Lucifer is the one that brings the light into the darkness. Christ is the unconditional love that stays holding space, who came to deliver the messages to open our hearts for the wisdom that Sophia was meant to bring in balance. But when we're living in such primal states, in such animalistic states of mind, we can't open our hearts to the wisdom of Sophia. And this is why Christ comes first. Christ comes first to bring that love into our hearts, to bring us out of our animalistic mind and into our heart, so we can receive the wisdom of Sophia that brings us to that place where we can then find our God self, our Godhood, where we could reach apotheosis. And it is through Christ's love and the flames of purification that Lucifer brings. Jesus spoke and said Christ was leaving this earth to Lucifer. This is his domain now. Why? Because the world wasn't ready for the love that Jesus brought. Humanity was still too primal and too animalistic, too competitive and violent, too lost in their own darkness to accept the love of Jesus And so when he went, he spoke that he was leaving this earth to Lucifer. And it is through the flames of purification, the reflection of our own inner darkness that he brings, that we become purified, that we become readied in our hearts for that Christ energy, for the wisdom of Sophia, for divine union with our original creators. Because how can you go somewhere when you don't know where it is? When you are still saying prayers to Jehovah or Yahweh, which is the false creator. You are not speaking to your mother and father creator, and you are not connecting to your true being. We may have a long way to go, but time is something we have a little bit of control over. So understand, when you say love and light, you are speaking the great invocation. When you are here in this domain, on this planet, in this physical experience, no, Mitchell, the devil is not my God. The devil is within all of us in the form of our ego. And Christ is within all of us. And so is Lucifer. All is one now. All is love, period. Exactly. And it is Lucifer's love for this world that he stayed here with us. That energy stayed here with us, triggering the original abandonment of Lilith, to be sure. It is the fear and judgment. It is the fear and judgment coming from anybody that is actually the true devil. Lucifer is only mentioned once in the Bible. Exactly. And I'd like to remind you that Jesus did say, I am the bright morning star. In other words, he was Lucifer. Pamela, you're going to want to watch this from the beginning, sister. There's some really good stuff in this. Really good conversation. Now, there's so many stories that could be told and have been told about how Lucifer ended up here. An interesting conversation I actually had with Aaron is that in the story in the Bible of him being cast out from heaven, that was actually the first sin of our father, that we are forgiving our father for throwing our brother out of our heavenly home and making us feel anything less than secure in our father's love. And this is the new story. This is the new story. The new story is realizing that God is love. We are all God. Every single one of us is God within. We've been preaching this and saying this in this community for a really long time. And there is nothing but love. Everything serves us in love. Even the darkness. Because in the law of polarity, in our spiritual awakening and realization, you can only know the light to the extent you know the darkness. And this is the way of the left-handed path. There are those who stay in their spiritual immaturity in religion and choosing a path that tells them exactly what to do and what rules to follow and who to pray to and how to pray and so forth. And then there's the left-handed path. Now I'm going to give you an interesting clue, or not a clue, but an interesting piece of a tidbit here. So Baphomet is actually the divine union, the single being of Lucifer and Lilith. And in that, on their arms is tattooed Solve and Coagula. Solve, which means separation, is actually tattooed on the right hand, mercy. Coagula on the left hand, severity. So why is unity, coagula, meaning unity, severity? What if we chose duality to have this experience together? Because the full Ein Sof, being that one energy without anything physical around it. What if the reason God continues to create more and more and more is to experience, and without that, it is just the torture of boredom? And so this physical experience, this spiritual journey, is God experiencing through us as God. And that's why the illusion of separation we're experiencing through these individual journeys is actually considered merciful. Because we have free will, because we get to choose, because we are walking a path that no matter which way we go, always leads us back to God and always leads us back to love. And through that, we get to know God through ourselves, through the portal of our own heart. And it's funny that somebody just said, hell might be my home. We create heaven and hell here on this earth. We have been creating heaven and hell here on this earth. Now we are just creating heaven. We have experienced enough of our own self-created hells and the hells we have created for others around us. And now we are working towards creating heaven on earth. What is that? Through polarity, through the contrast experience. It's all been contrast. And now, through all of this, if you are channeling Christ consciousness, you are ready to forgive Lucifer. You are ready to forgive the ones we have called terrorists in the past. You are ready to forgive all those. And that is why Lucifer is the last one to come home. Because in those symbolic gates of heaven that we cross through, he is the greatest symbol of love. A reflection of love for us to say everything is God and we love everything. If we are to love God, we must love every aspect of God, or we don't know love. No one left behind. Not a single one. Not even Lucifer. And that's just it. Forgiving Lucifer means forgiving yourself. And since Lucifer has been associated with the devil, And we know that the devil was a term used for our own ego. We know we're just forgiving ourselves, even though Lucifer was not the devil, ever. So here we go. Let's speak it into existence again, shall we, Aaron? Let's do it one more time. And at the end of it this time, from the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. My fellow Heokas, may our lightning be the thunder that shakes all of that which no longer serves loose, so that the flames of purification may burn us clean, and the floods of cleansing may wash us, so that we may channel Christ through us, God through us, in perfection, in love. Remembering when we say unconditional love, we are creating conditional love. So now we just speak of love, knowing that love itself, without any qualification, is whole and complete. And that you, vibrating at the resonance of love, are whole and complete. And you are God. You are infinite. Let there be light. Let us all speak the highest light into all that is at all times. Amen. We know that this prayer is for the highest good of all through the individual fulfillment of each. And so we know it is the will of Mother and Father Creator, Christ and Sophia, Lucifer and Lilith, and all the archangels who have come here to assist us. So mote it be, and so it is. Amen. Amun. Amen. Aho. Metako yasen. Om Namah Shivaya. Hare Krishna. Om Tat Sat. This is what we are here to do. We incarnated into these bodies to exist in this physical dimension, to bring restoration to this planet and restore the paradise it was intended to be. With our hands and with our feet, we have come here to lay our hands on one another and bring love and restoration energies to our physical avatars. We have come here with our feet to explore this beautiful planet, to walk the path of love and light, bringing that true love and light that can only come through us and channeled through us when we are connected at the vibration and frequency of love with our original Mother and Father Creators that are calling us home in every moment, who are reminding us that they are with us in every moment. You are here with 2 ears and 1 mouth so that you may listen twice as much as you speak, and knowing that your heart and your tongue are the first things to develop in the womb. As your embryo develops, remember that from your inception you were created to speak love and nothing but love. And thank you to those who are here even now, showing us how much work we have to do to heal the archonic energies of fear and judgment and separation and religion. Religions that separate us from God, religions that separate us from our true nature, religions that separate us from love. Because love is where you come from, and love is where you are going. And heaven on earth is the ultimate expression of love, so long as we are choosing the left hand of God, or the right hand of God, the mercy of God, which is solve, separation. Look at the times we are in. There is no good or bad. If we are perceiving good and bad, then let it be for the purpose of understanding balance, not from a place of judgment. Religion has served its purpose to open us up to understand the energies of the universe, to understand and see the contrast of that which was to come, the prophesied time, the apocalypse, which means conscious awakening. Yes, we are in the apocalypse. We are in the apocalypse, which from the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. That is the apocalypse. The apocalypse is us waking up into our apotheosis and realizing that we are God, and we stop giving our power to religion, and we stop giving our power to our governments, and we stop giving our power to what other people think of us and tell us what to do and how to be. Yes. Yes, Aaron. My brother Aaron, I love him so much. Now, in the Bible, it was spoken in Matthew 24:14. This good news would be preached throughout the entire inhabited lands, and then the end times would come. The good news meaning truth. That truth is that you are God. And how are we spreading it? But through the internet. How are we spreading it? But by sharing our love and light with each other everywhere we go. This is why integrity is such an important topic right now. Who cares what I'm doing behind the camera if I'm not being love and light everywhere else I go? Who cares what you're speaking or writing on the internet, which is reaching the whole world? There is not one place on the planet that isn't being reached by the internet now. In the places, let me rephrase that. The places where the messages from the internet, I noticed something really interesting. The places where they still don't have internet and are still living in tribal ways, they're happy, they're love, they're living in balance and harmony with Mother Earth. And they have rejected all of this for a reason. Understanding that most of the colonization that happened on the planet came from the Christians. And they brought what? Money and so forth. This is all history. This is our history. But now we're existing in a time where we have the ability to share our love and share our light and give power to our brothers and sisters to remember who they are and remember that they are God. Remember that Christ is within each of us. Sophia channels through all of us. When we integrate the knowledge of the tree of life, we are integrating that knowledge and coming into wisdom, because wisdom is the integration of knowledge, the integration and application of knowledge. So when you have done that, You are Sophia. You are Christ, you are Sophia, you are Mother and Father, Creator. When you tap into your divinity and your infinite nature, you are all of that. And this is your apotheosis. And then imagine how much we can do, how much beauty and paradise we will create on this planet when all of us have come into the unified intent of a paradise earth. And part of that is simply knowing that it is possible, that we have actually already created everything we need to achieve world peace and to restore the planet to paradise. Imagine for a moment that when we came here, it was a little bit too wild for us humans. And Eve was like, put me somewhere where the creepy crawlies aren't crawling on me, and where those growly animals and slithery snakes aren't coming up to me when I'm trying to sleep. And, you know, I want it cool in this domicile during the summer months, and I want it warm during the winter months, and I want to get to the kids faster when they move away from home and start having grandbabies and blah, 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 and all that. And so through this process, can you conceive of the possibility that we are still in the original creation phase? The original 7 days of creation. Can you conceive of the possibility that now we have all the technologies we need, all the comforts we need. We have figured out how to move all of the foods from all over the planet that keep us completely healthy, instead of relying just on what we can access locally. And I'm even going to push it to the extent that make it so that we never have to harm another animal again. Not for food, not for sacrifice, not for any reason. That we can now exist healthy and restored on simply plants until we have mastered the energy of that love vibration and frequency that recharges you, and we no longer need food, and we live literally on love and light, so that even the animals can know peace. You are love. You are light. You are God. You are powerful creators who are infinite in your ability. You are knowledgeable and wise. You are strong. You are whole and complete and resonate at the vibration of love. You are beautiful. You are gorgeous. You are magic. You are creators. You are me, and I am you. And together, we are one. And I am gratitude for each and every single one of you. There are many prophecies that say the lion will lay with the lamb. I believe that the animals are just as conscious as us, if not more so. And as soon as we stop eating them, they'll stop eating each other. And that's why I'm vegan. And I am healthy and beautiful and vivacious and fit. And I am love. for all of you. And I'm grateful for all of your love. And all we have to do now is create heaven on earth. And it's already here in the form of a vibration and frequency. It is our job and our role here in the physical to anchor it down into the third dimension. That's why I'm doing the work I'm doing down in Mexico. That's why I'm helping my brother in Uganda. It's paradise earth. It takes physical hands. The angels are always here supporting us. And we always have inspiration from all that universal wisdom that is constantly available for us to tap into. And we have our manifesting abilities. And I came with hands and feet and a body intended to assist in the restoration. Whether it's carrying cinder blocks, laying cement for people's beautiful homes, whether it's planting seeds in the ground for them, whether it's using my ears to listen to what their desires are that would bring them their greatest paradise, or using my mouth to educate them on how they can create that for themselves, or how they can maintain what it is myself and other humanitarians are giving them. And I'll be talking about that more. I'm going to be talking about the humanitarian aspect of this mission very soon. If you're coming into this video late, I invite you to go back and listen to it from the beginning, because it is a profound message. It is a very profound message. And I thank you, all of you, for who you are. I thank you so much for those of you who honor and acknowledge that you are true Luciferians, which make you the truest Christians, because you're the ones that actually desire Christ's return and have been prepared for Christ's return to this planet through you, as you. I thank all of you who are true Luciferians, because you channel the wisdom of Sophia through everything you've integrated. I thank all of you for your beauty and the harmony that you bring here to this planet. All those desires you have in your heart, your true desires, not your ego's desires, but the true desires on your heart, those, with all of our hearts in harmony and resonance, creates the blueprint of heaven on earth. Because your individual fulfillment is an aspect of heaven on earth. So whether you want a cabin in the mountains, a hut on the beach, a house in a suburb, or you want to live in a yurt in an intentional community, whether you want to farm or you want to build water systems, whatever it is that you want to do, you just want to be a musician, you want to paint pictures, whatever it is you'll be doing on heaven on earth, your desires are 100% accurate. And they are yours. It is you channeling the desires of your mother and father creator through you that create the true paradise. And that's why the individual fulfillment of each is so important. You are such powerful beings, each and every one of you. And some of you haven't maybe understood that as deep as you can. And I'm more than happy to help you figure that out and find your greatest joy, find your greatest bliss, find your greatest purpose and passion and restoration, removing any programming that you no longer need. But understand at any moment, you simply surrendering to your true mother and father creator, surrendering to allow Christ into your heart. And I'm not saying that from a religious standpoint. I'm saying that from a universal standpoint. If you allow Christ to channel through you, you are all that. And with 47 people on right now, my synchronicity number, I am going to wish you all love and all light. And I'm going to say the invocation one last time to close this out. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. So mote it be, and so it is. The great invocation, as written by one of the first public Luciferians on the planet, Alice Bailey, who was influenced and educated by Helena Blavatsky and Annie Besant, who created the Lucis Trust, who taught about the 7 rays of initiation. Everybody's like, I'm a blue ray, I'm a purple ray, I'm a yellow ray, I'm a gold ray, whatever. That's Luciferian too. All your rays and all your initiations, those are Luciferian too. Getting in touch with nature, Luciferian. Your crystals, Luciferian. Are you getting the point? I love you all so much, and I'm so grateful for you. You're beautiful. I have nothing but love. Yes. Helena was and is a very wise woman. And a very beautiful being. And her mission continues to bring the truth and spread the message far and wide. I love Helena Blavatsky. I can say that. Truly, I love Helena Blavatsky. And I love all of you. Speak in tongues, sister. Speak it, speak it, speak it. I love you all. You are beautiful. I'm grateful for you. You are infinite. You are everything. You inspire me to keep going. Thank you. In the description of this video is my link to iamsophia.love. That's my affirmation. You're all invited to take that affirmation for yourselves as well. I am not claiming to be anything that you aren't or can't be. Because we are. We are. We just are. If any of you wishes to support my ongoing mission that is completely faith-based, there is a donation button on my website so you can help support me. There is also, and I will be writing more now that I've settled into my new home, and I'm not traveling as much, even though I am going to be going back to Mexico and some other places to continue my humanitarian work. I'm going to be wintering here where I am now, so I'm going to be getting more blogs out very soon and I'm working on an epic saga, a book that will also become a screenplay. And I have more time and ability and availability now for sessions. So all of my spiritual gifts are listed on there. Those are on a donation basis as well. Suggested donations. When I say suggested donations, I mean it's whatever you can give. For those who have the full suggested amount, then beautiful. I'm grateful to receive. But if you are not at the point where you're manifesting that level of abundance yet, that's okay. I'm still here for you. If you feel like I'm one, you know, the one that you want to work with, that, you know, and so forth, you go to Gaia Sophia Love. That's my page. Yeah. So, well, that's great, Joyce Ann. I'm very grateful for that because I only have $30 right now. I'd be grateful for more. However, I do have all my needs met in the moment, so I'm not going to be greedy. This girl's got everything she needs for now, food-wise and other. You know, I went grocery shopping yesterday, and it felt really good to just, buy everything I wanted, because down in Mexico, man, it was rough. It was rough finding, yeah. But with all that said, I'm grateful to all of you, and I'm going to let you go now. We will be back, Jesse. We will come back. So love, 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 love. Namaste. Be good to each other. And I'm here if you need me. Bye.